How's it going out there, everybody? As always, I am the Wolf Knight, and welcome to a little game called Abiotic Factory. Now, this is a survival base building crafting type of game, and I've just been having a blast with it. I highly recommend you try this out, and if the graphics look a little weird, there's no need to adjust your resolution or whatnot. This is the way the game is intended to look, right here. It makes it look like the game was made for like one of the older gen consoles. But yeah, even though this is on PS5. Now I'm gonna give you at least what I've been, like I said, I've been playing this for a while. I highly recommend it. It is quite fun. But I'm gonna share with what I learned from my first playthrough. Now, I haven't quite beat the game yet. I'm quite far into it, but I wanted to give you some tips and whatnot what I found would be the best way to help you start your trip through Abiotic Factory. Now it's got a little bit of like, starting off, it's got a little bit of like a Project Zomboid type feel, if you've never played that. What it is when you start the game, you will be given your available jobs. This will basically determine your starting attributes. Now, each one of the different kind of scientists will give you, a starting boost to a certain types of skills. Now, I found that a lot of going through my first playthrough, I found that a lot of these these job selections, actually kind of don't really matter. So in my I would say best opinion, I would say the best class you could possibly go for in terms of starting points would definitely either be the lab assistant or the summer intern. Now, the summer intern is a blank slate. The job does not give you any extra points, but it does give you the most starting points. Lab assistant, in my opinion, if you don't want to go summer intern, would be your next best bet. You get a +3 to sprinting, sneaking, and strength. And like I said, I feel like lab assistant or summer intern are the best possible starts compared to any of the others. And the reason why is because some of these skills are... And now, when it comes to this one, you don't want to pick this one, because this one specializes in throwing weapons. And in my opinion, throwing weapons are just a resource waste. Because 9 times, at least what I found, 9 times out of 10, that throwing weapon is breaking. About the only reliable throwing weapon you could have is if you're chucking your whatever weapon you're currently using, like either be a spear or some kind of club or whatnot. Throwing, in my opinion, is just not worth it. It's a huge resource waste. So don't go throwing. Don't even worry about it. Now, also, I would say don't worry about if you like to build, then the aero technician consultant, don't worry about that, because building is just gonna... especially if you're playing solo, you're going to be doing all the building. So you won't have to worry about raising your construction. So that's why I say don't worry about the aerotech consultant job. Don't worry about that one. Now this is what I first started off with, because I'm a farmer. I like to do anything farming related. So I found that going with this one is also very negligible at best, because in this case the farming is agriculture. So yeah, agriculture in this is basically a set it up and almost forget about it. Occasionally checking to see how watered your plants are, and you will just gain agricultural experience over time. So aerotech and basically, like I said, these two, very negligible at best. Now, it's like, oh, I'm a fighter. I'll go with this one or this one. These are basically your fighter classes. You know, they specialize in fight. Like I said, fighting, either defense analyst for offense, or this one for basically defensive style. Now, like I said earlier, a lot of these are very negligible at best, which is why I say that lab assistant or summer intern will be your best bet starting off. If you do want to start off with one of them for your first playthrough, I would say go lab assistant for +3 to sneaking, strength, and sprinting, and giving you the second highest starting points. What I'm going to be doing for this playthrough is actually going to be summer intern. Now that we have our job selected, go over to next. We have a set of available traits for positive and negative, and this is where the available points come in for our costs. Now we have a whole bunch of negative traits over here that will, like I said, negatively impact us in some form. Whether it be we have to use the toilet more often, we have a higher chance of bleeding, slower healing, or just slower skill sets. But now, as you can see, we have a cost for each set. The negative traits give us pluses. That means we would get more available starting points. Like, if we went with feeble, this would give us an extra +6. But we would become an exceptionally frail individual and have 25% less maximum health and break our bones more frequently from falls and bullet trauma. So while we gain a massive boost to our available points, we also take a pretty big hit physically. Now, in addition to that, we also have our positive traits. Now, this is minus, as you can see. So basically taking away from our starting points. And this is just kind of a build yourself. It's like, do I want to take some negative traits to have more positive traits kind of thing? So the question is, so are we going to take any negative traits so we can have more positive traits, or are we just going to go all positive? Now, I'm going to go all positive, and that's why I went with the summer intern. I wanted the most available starting points. So the question is, what of these are we going to choose? And what I found, I think would be the best, would be, let's see, what do we want to choose? Well, for me, personally, I like to go with wrinkled brain matter for 20% more experience than normal. And then now we're only going with 2, which is why I wanted to go with summer intern, because what I found would be incredibly useful would be lead belly. You can drink tainted water without getting sick, which is very useful. So that's why we went with the summer intern for the most available starting points, so that we can pick up wrinkled brain matter and lead belly. So this way we can truly choose how to build our character, if we want to specialize or if we just want to go all around. And that's what I'm going for with this character. So we'll finish. Basically making sure that, hey, have you checked everything and are ready to go? Yes, I'm ready to go. So now we start off, and as you can see, the game does look like it comes from the old gen consoles.
I don't think we've met.
As we pick up stuff, we will gain the ability of new recipes.
Ah, you're stuck here too, eh? I came down from level 8 for a coffee, and now I'm locked in here for God knows how long. It'll be those fools on overacting again.
Now I want to be careful.
Looks like Jaeger's locked out. Typical. See if you can let him in. Maybe he knows what's happened. But take your time. He's insufferable.
Now we don't have much inventory space to start off with, of course. We'll just take everything that we can find, starting off with. Alright, now we have to open the cafeteria door. Dude, pick up everything that we can see. Move that. Now we want to dismantle this, get us some nice starting metal scraps. Come in here, pick that up. Alright, now this is set in the underground Cascade research facility, and it's basically kind of, I would say, the back rooms kind of game or whatnot. Now we are playing with customized settings that I found that are very helpful, like increased item stack size. Watch our first little enemy right here. Beat him to a pulp. Alrighty. And yeah, it's kind of got a backrooms sort of vibe. Dude. Ooh, come on. Get beat. Gotta watch it. Watch our corners. But yeah, I would highly recommend this game. This game has been a lot of fun. Now, you can go around and basically take apart a bunch of stuff. Got our first screwdriver. Now we can actually start taking apart furniture. Grab all of this. First flashlight. Now, the game at nighttime does get pretty dark. Oops, didn't mean to grab that. This is a base building game. Water bottle. Always. Now, you will want to pick up lamps and whatnot. Especially going through. That's loud. Because you will need quite a good bit of light sources. Oh. Let's grab that. Put that there. Move that. Oh. Watch it. Come on. Come on. Get knifed. Thank you. Now, we won't worry. Ooh, come here. Ooh, watch the spiky boy. Thank you. Alright, anything else we could take? Not worried about frying pans right now. Don't need an extra knife. All good on that. One more little boy in here. Hello, friend.
Rapidly losing warmth.
Come here. Thank you. Some ice cream. Even though we can't pick it up. Nothing in here. You said we're losing some warmth. More medical supplies. Can't go through that way just yet. Wash ourselves off because we have to pay attention to how clean we are in this.
Hello. Over here.
Shh. Excuse me. I've been trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty. Oh. Thank you.
You going to leave me? Oh, you're new. Looks like that little pest damaged the power system. Can you get someone to fix it? But hurry, would you? I'm not enjoying standing around out here. It was hours last time. I don't feel safe.
More duct tape. So, duct tape's very useful for repairing your stuff. Let's see. We'll just set that right there for now. This will basically give you little tutorials throughout the game.
Cascade Research Facility, safety and security.
But we don't need that. currently full on stuff. Break this apart. Let's see. What do we want? Want to go to our crafting. And now we do have a whole bunch of stuff. Now, the big part about this is if you want to reveal these things, you have to do like this little crafting research kind of thing. Where you kind of use the available stuff up here to guess. And then, boom. Now we can make a small storage crate. Now, you can turn this off. Also, this does not use any kind of items. Because there will be a time where you have not found these things, but you are still able to make it. So let's see. Actually, now that we got that, that's what we need. We need our crafting bench. And put that together. We need a power supply unit. So I'm actually going to put this on, put that there, put that on. Grab this stuff. We need it. Now we can construct our crafting bench. Now you don't have to worry about... One of the big things about this game is moving around. Take out our screwdriver. And as you can see, we are gaining 367 constructions from just building that, and it got our construction up to level 2. Like, as I said at the beginning, as you can see, construction is one of the aspects that's very simple. Alright, now if you want to be able to use your crafting bench, unlike most games, you have to power it in order to use it. Most games, crafting benches, it's like, hey, make it and throw it down and you can start using it. No, in this one, you have to power your crafting bench. Now this gives us a whole bunch of other stuff to make. So let's see, we want to go to resources, go here, and craft an energy brick. Now, you will periodically have those earthquakes. Oh, actually, we don't want to hurry just yet. Let's see, Now, one other thing I recommend is don't worry about making the makeshift backpack right from the start. I'm actually going to grab some throw netting. Going to grab that.
You need to open the door. Now.
I know. And we're going to go with our basic baton here.
Just...
Die! Ow! Die! Haha. First little nuisance taken care of. Alright, in terms of making our first base, this is basically the main hub of the game, where you will be... I would say this is definitely the best place to start off your first base.
Look, I don't know what's going on. They don't tell me squat on a good day, and this isn't a good day. But if the big voice says, get out, I'd do what she says. Elevators are dead, so head for the main tunnel in manufacturing on level 2. There's
Thank you.
maps over there.
Now, you don't have to stay and listen.
Right here.
Alright, now that we got that, we want to go back. And we want to grab our crafting table. Now, also, if you're wanting to raise your strength, as you can see, we have a yellow encumbrance. As you see, we're moving around. We're gaining strength experience. So, that's the way to raise your strength experience. At least the best way to constantly keep it going. Welcome to where we're basically going to set up. Now, I found that this starting off is the best location. No, thank you. For your first early game base. It gives you plenty of space, especially since you're not going to be doing much at the beginning. And we really only have to worry about one little possible entrance. The glass is breakable, of course. And the enemies can kick the door open. So let's get that out of the way. And we do have a nice, huge filing cabinet here to act as a nice storage. Let's get that all taken care of. Start clearing the way. If some of these chairs don't break down, don't worry about it. Some of them break down into their parts, that's fine. If not, that's also fine. Grab up all this. Grab those. Any more? Yep. Alrighty. Now we do have two huge filing cabinets. I forgot about that. A little bit of money in that one. Alright, now we'll put all those away. Just like that. We'll put the chairs over here because we can salvage these later. Put that there. Alright, actually, now we can set our crafting table down. Excuse me for a second, nose is itching. Alrighty. And basically just build this again. Alright. Connect it back up to some power. Now we do also have a nice water cooler here for drinking. But because we have lead belly, we don't have to worry about drinking this. We will use this for basically starting water. So let me unpin all those recipes. And not that way. We actually want to go... Let's see. We want to head back towards the cafeteria. Move it up a little bit more. Namely, grab these lamps. And as you can see, we've already got construction level 4. So like I said, you don't have to worry about construction at the start of the game. And grab all of this. All right. Now, I'm gonna take a second to basically run back and forth between the cafeteria and here and get everything nice and sorted and situated, and I will see you all in a minute. Alright guys, we're back, and as we've done just a little bit. I grabbed a couple of lampposts, made ourselves a nice makeshift bed so we could sleep and set our respawn points. Now, one thing I didn't tackle earlier is also while I was transporting stuff between the cafeteria and here, if we go to my stats, this is where we can take a look at all of our skills, whether it be in the fitness, combat, and survival. Now, if you'll notice one thing, that I do have a construction level of 10 already. Now, what I did was basically I just took apart the cafeteria tables and basically just kept rebuilding them. Now, when you package up anything, when you first try to package it up, there's a chance it'll break. But once you manage to successfully package it up, you can place it down and pick it back up without worrying about it breaking. Like this filing cabinet, I could package it, but there's a 57% chance it would break. So yeah. Also grabbed another water cooler. Now, you'll want to listen to these because they'll give you a little lore behind the game and whatnot, as well as information on certain
Dr. Derek
things.
Mance reporting. Research Director, Gate Cascade Research Facility.
Originating in Antiverse 2, IS-171 is a stationary, sessile entity that traps its food with a retractable tentacle. The experience of being caught is rather like being attacked by an angry pizza. It presents no real threat, but leaves an enduring, not entirely unpleasant smell on anything it touches. Suggestions for possible applications include perfume, industrial scents, and olfactory-based crowd control weapons.
Drink some water to start our day. Now, you want to watch out for these guys. These robots here. They're pretty strong to start with, and you're basically going to want to avoid them. But you only have to worry about them when they're active during the night. They will attack anything they, see as a threat, which includes you. So take this. Now the hammer is what you use to repair your stuff. Now as you can see, okay. As you can see, the sentry bot is hibernating. They usually only come out at night. Now we can attack the robot charging pad and break it, but he will immediately start coming after us. So we don't want that. We don't want to fight him just yet. Also, one other thing I didn't touch on a little bit ago is if we go to our crafting, we come here, we have base defense. Now, we don't have much in the way of base defense right yet. But yes, you will periodically, not right now, have to build base defenses to, defend your base. Also, one key thing to note here, the map. Come over here to journal, map, and emails. Yeah, this thing is not helpful. This thing is particularly not helpful in any way, shape, or form. At least I found, to me, it's not that helpful. Now, what I'm going to do is come over here. Now, you can kick doors.
If it gets any colder, I may have a
Now,
problem.
watch, we can do... We can kick the doors open. And it will inflict damage and kill them. Now, we can block with the shield.
This is Dr. Derek Mance. Today, I discovered that Dr. Stern's latest software experiment was simulating the entire facility. A microcosm of Cascade, every staff member within it. Even myself, I gather. When I asked about it, he claimed to be trying to find a way to accelerate our research. I inquired about the
Ethical considerations, and he just looked at me blankly. The man is a genius, but more dangerous to this facility than most of its subjects. I'm sure of it. An exceptional scientist, all the same.
Now these will be a pain in the butt to open, but they've got some nice resources in them.
I thought I was there, but I'm still here, am I? I'm here, but she's there?
Now, as you can see, you don't have to worry about leveling up your, you can just level up your blunt and sharp weapons by just attacking furniture items and whatnot. At least when it comes to destructibles. As you can see, you don't really gain it from just bashing an office desk. Although it's still useful if you don't want to break it down. But the reason we wanted to get to level 10 is because for our construction at least, right now is raised with a crane. While dismantling furniture with a hammer, you have a 50% chance to receive double resources. Also, another thing I didn't touch on, at certain points, as you can see with every skill, you'll get a new perk. Like power attack for blunt 3. You can do heavy wind-up attacks with blunt melee weapons. These attacks cannot be performed with a shield. So grab that. Yeah, there's one more thing we want to do. Now I gotta remember where it was. But the reason I said don't worry about making a no, not there. Don't worry about making the makeshift backpack at the start, because now I remember it's this way. We could come over here to this locker room and find one right here on the ground. That gives us an extra bit of space, and it gives us some weight reduction. Now also, always stop and loot locker rooms, because they may just have a... You can get quite a good bit of useful resources. So I recommend going through and just opening every single one of them. Another water cooler to take. We'll take that. Oh, now we will want this. Yes, it's what it says it is. So let's see. Well, actually, because we can come back here, but we'll leave that there for now. Take that. Because that is useful in farming. Eat those. Get around for enemies, make sure there's none around. First aid kit. Don't really need to worry about much of that right yet. Now we've got all this taken care of. Alrighty. Now another thing is you can chop these up, but you do have to worry about radiation. Like that there. Now radiation, will slowly build up over time, and of course make you sick. So that's another thing you have to worry about, which is what the iodine tablets are for. We put all that. Put this away. Let's see. Okay, got that full. That there. That there. We don't need that. Alright, that gives us the ability to make a bag of soil. Soil bag, I should say. Alrighty. Now, when you find your first anvil, go back over here to our bench. You want to make your repair and salvage station as fast as you can. Now, the only anvil I know of at the start is you will have to wait for nighttime, which I'm kind of an idiot and I completely forgot about. Because back in the cafeteria, you remember that giant fan we saw when we went through the first little area. Well, when the power turns off, you can go through there. Oh, I forgot about some lamps I had picked up as well. So let's see. Just chuck these down wherever. Kind of give us some more light. Because at nighttime, the game, it does get a little dark. So you will want to throw lights around. those away. Alrighty. Now let's see. What do we need to do? So, I recommend, don't worry about the main story, especially at the start. Just worry about running around, collecting resources, and getting your base all nice and set up. That's what at least, if you want to, go through the main story and whatnot as soon as you, start playing, hey, by all means, go ahead and immediately do that if you want, it's called your way to play, so, play it your way. Don't need a frying pan right yet. Also, like the lockers, always search the cabinets. Because you will want to take salt. Need the knife. Because one of the big things about this game in terms of food is your soups. Experiment with cooking to learn new soup recipes. Soups are basically your go-to food source in this. Now, like I said earlier, take your time when starting the game to go around and just basically loot up everything. Because as you can see, like right here in this office section, there are a few enemies. Come on, big boy. Come on. Watch out for the charge. And down you go. Thank you. Grab up and bake everything electronic. Another lamp. Take that. Take all this. Especially the computers. Don't be afraid to break every single one of these apart. Because, like I said, you will want the stuff. Definitely want that right quick. Now, what you do use duct tape for recipes, but it's also primarily used to basically start repairing your weapons. If anything, your weapons and armor. So if anything basically starts to take too much damage, just grab a set of duct tape and then repair it just a little bit. All that away. Chest apron, we'll take that. Put it on. Now, if you notice, one funny thing, especially with the voice chat is on, look at your character. The voice will just flap away as you talk. So, it's funny. You can just sit here, oh, throat sing, and your and your character will just basically throat sing along with you. Which is it's just downright funny. Now, I wanted to grab that filing cabinet for a reason. Because, go down to, not base defense, armor. Can go for, not cushion, but we want to go for makeshift. It'll be your first armor set. Make one of those up. Now, yes, in this game, all armor comes with set bonuses. And we'll equip that. Put all this back away. Alrighty. See, we'll throw this down. A little dark right here. Alrighty. We'll throw this over here. Chow down on that. Let me see and grab our duct tape. And we'll prepare this and that. Alrighty. Do a little re-swapping around. Alright, everything's looking good. Alright, so we have to escape via manufacturing, which is over there. Now, especially if this is your first time playing, don't worry about not knowing the lay of the land. You will slowly develop the muscle memory, or whatever you want to call it, as you go through this whole game. So, like I said, don't worry about getting lost if you don't know the way. I know I had quite trouble navigating this game first go through. But yeah, you especially want to go around and breaking all these breakables because, as you can see, like I said, it's also giving you not only the resources, but weapon experience. So yeah, don't be afraid to break every computer and monitor you see. Easy weapon experience. Because you will want all these resources. Alright, let's go. Break all this. Now, realistically, you can make a base anywhere you want. You don't need actually you don't need multiple power sockets in order to reliably make a base. Anywhere that there is one power socket, you can make a base. Now, while you can train your sharp off this, it does still eat through your it's better to basically go with the slightly higher damaging weapon, and also in this case, blunt weapons are better options for just breaking down all this stuff. Because it has the easiest time and it won't shoot through much of your durability. Compared to if you're using the sharp weapon. Like as you can see with my knife. Take all this. Because you will want to worry about nighttime. Nighttime in this can get, well, decently dark. No, I didn't mean to sit in the chair. Give me my keyboard. So, yeah. Which is why I say, also, come to crafting and go to our lights and power. Don't worry about making, these wall lamps. Especially at the start. It will chew through a lot of your glass and metal pipes. Especially at the beginning. The reason why you can run a base off just one power strip is that right there, the plug strip. This allows you to connect multiple devices to a single, basically, plug. Our first little deployable base defense, the Choppinator. Make this makeshift spear. That's right. Uses the lamp. Food and cooking. Our portable stove. And like I said, doing the invention thing doesn't use resources, so don't worry about it. If you have anything that can be made, you just basically start throwing everything on. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong. You'll still be able to basically get it. You don't have to worry about failing. Also, now that we do have the Choppinator, we can actually start farming the robot. Show you why. We are slightly encumbered. Now, we're going for this first episode, be a nice hour-long special. After that, we'll go back to a standard format of around 20 or so minutes. But, I wanted the first bit to basically be a nice long little series before we move on back to our standard format. Now, the funny thing about the robot here, especially at the start, he drops soda. So it's another way to not worry about your thirst. If you don't want to take lead belly, you can once you get the Choppinator, you can like set up to farm the robot pretty effectively. It's base defense. So we need scrap, pipe, any kind of oil, and an energy brick. So just take a whole bunch of stuff. Oil we left here. Take that. Then we need an energy brick. Lights and power. No, it was subcomponents. Now actually make several of these. Now starting off, you will make a lot of energy bricks. Because you will be making a lot of makeshift batteries. Now at the start of the game, if you remember right, there is a day and night cycle. At the end of the day, all these power sockets will basically turn off, which is why you have batteries. You will connect the power socket to your battery, which will charge them and allows your stuff to be powered overnight. Alright, now we got those. Actually, we want to make one more. So we want to see. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Drop that, actually. Just pick these up, place them down, don't need to worry about them. Also, as you can see, when you're going to deploy something that needs power, you can see the maximum range of, whatever you're deploying. So we'll throw the crafting bench right here. Now we'll get into more advanced base building. One thing the game doesn't if you have to pay attention to is when we grab our connection. If you see right there, we can place a rerouter for one tech scrap. That basically allows you to extend the range. So you can see we can't pass. Alright, there's where we can fit. As you see, it's red. Can't place there. But we can place that. Now if we place R2, we can place a router. It basically extends our range. So we'll take a couple of our batteries. Place one there. Now, if you want your stuff to last through the night at the beginning, you will need 2 makeshift batteries. Do that. Connect there. Grab the socket, connect there. There. Alrighty. Now that we got that, you see the blue line is the amount of power currently stored in the battery. Once that's full, 2 batteries will be able to allow your whatever you have powered to be able to last through the night. Alright, so we'll worry about those here. And then we got that. Make our choppinator. And then we got that. We could put away all this. Put that nice and away. Grab our bandages. Ah, excellent timing. Now, he will come this way. Now, he will tend to aggro onto anything you've placed down. So we want to keep the battery. As you can see, that will basically just constantly spin. Now, I don't think the battery is going to be able to acquire enough charge before the sector will power down. So we will have to see about making a lever, but we don't have the oil. Actually, we do. Take that. Those metal pipes. Scrap and coil. Some scrap and coils. So we'll make that real quick. Levers basically allow you to turn things on and off. Anything they're basically connected to. Ow. Now that's one thing you have to worry about when with your base defenses. They don't discriminate. They will hurt you as well. So what we're going to do is actually going to take that. Because we're not going to worry about our crafting bench. Ooh, never mind. Because he's online. Now, one choppinator is more than enough to easily handle the robot. He will get a few hits in on it. But as long as you have a nice hammer, you will kind of have to keep him kited. And there we go. Alright. He's all nice and taken care of. We get some nice little goodies. Alrighty. And that's the robot taken care of. And it's like I said, as you can see, it gets pretty dark. But because we have a whole bunch of lamps, our base is still nice and lit up. Let's take a look at what we got. Now this is also another way you don't have to worry about your thirst. I know it's kind of hard, it's kind of weird to basically not look at this with your guy over here just flapping his jaw. But you get a whole bunch of soda for taking care of it. The great thing about that is, especially here at the start, if we come down here to good old Warren, we do have the ability to trade with him. And for the cost of a root beer, we can buy a can of peas.
Not bad, if you like that sort of thing.
So, we get food. We could get basically some food and water at the start. If you don't want to worry about, taking care of. If you don't want to take lead belly, that's fine. You'll get all these sodas, which will also be good. But, I took lead belly because I want to be able to drink the tainted water, so we can focus on using all of this water for planting nice crops. Let's see, got feces, and we need bioscrap. Oh, yes. Now, one quick thing. Actually, gotta remember something. Put all this away. Put that there. Put that there. Consume one. Put away the others. Now, every time you drink a soda, you do get a... eat that. Fill up our hunger, because our hunger is getting low. Also, we'll try to do it fast, because we don't have much time. Flashlight will be your only
Nature calls.
source of light. Now these, as you see, you capture them. You'll want to take a test tube if you want to be able to capture them. Those are used for farming later. But yeah, alright, let's go back over here. We want to come back over here to where we started. Not that one, it was this one. Because we want to come back this way. Come in here. Proceed this way. Now, you don't have to worry about being cold, and as you see, since it's nighttime, this fan is powered off. You'll only be able to sneak through that once the power is off. But, hello, friend.
Stop!
Ow. Come on. Thank you. Now there is a door you can open. Ah, perfect timing. Now we'll come over here. This is a storage room where you can find your first anvil and a plastic bucket. And just kind of all kinds of other stuff. Uh-oh. As well as your first bit of ammo. Now it's going to be a minute before you can get your first gun. But, we're approaching out of time. So I hope you all enjoyed this first little bit of Abiotic Factory. We'll get back into our normal style of video. And occasionally I'll hit you up with an hour-long video. Just because I really love this game. It is quite fun. I highly recommend you give it a try. But anyway, thank y'all for joining me. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.